think we're good to go here. Chat, you want to do us a favor and besides support our entire show and buy our whole merch store, let us know if the audio is good. We are back.
Brock Faber.
Can
you do us a Brock Faber?
Yeah, that works. That
Baskin Robbins 31 favors.
31. Do they have 31 flavors of ice cream?
I think they have 32.
It's kind of concerning. Like, how do you have that many?
It's kind of like
what are you putting in stuff?
Yeah. It's kind of like when 32 Thoughts, it used to be
32 Chins.
Yeah, it was like 30 Thoughts. And then I had to go to 32 because they added teams. So I think Baskin Robbins at one point was 30 flavors. Now they're 31 because they added like one Zanzibar chocolate where you can dig out of the confinements of like Sudan and Africa. So it's pretty cool.
Speaking of 32 Thoughts, Elliot actually texted me and he's like, I'm really pissed. And I said, why? And he's like, you guys have such a better audience and following than me.
Right.
It's so much great. It's crazy how much more popular your hockey show is. And I said, Elliot, like, hang in there, stick in the game, and your show will be just okay.
We'll throw you a bone. We could maybe have you on like on a Sunday.
We'll have you on,
You can talk, man.
Tuesday?
We could like plug your show too. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but we could plug your show too.
Yeah, Elliot, listen, everyone go over. I don't know if you guys have heard this guy, Elliot Friedman. He's an insider. He's kind of up and coming. And if he sticks to reporting news as good as he does, he could be a pretty good insider in 5 to 10 years. I like his game. I think, if he fills out that frame, he's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, he's been having a couple good years working in the minors and the local papers. And I just think I was texting him, I just said, just stay with it, buddy.
Stay with it. It's a grind.
Because it's going to be hard to get to the point we're at. But if you keep working in the way you do, your attitude, like you're going to get there, buddy. And it's always cool to just call a guy that's 50 odd years old, buddy. And then you give him the pal.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it's a way in a sense of like just kind of establishing your alpha.
I'll give Canadian guys the pass. They can call me buddy. They can call me pal because that's how they speak. If you call me buddy in Arizona, those are fighting words. And we're going to fight and I'm going to lose.
If you call me buddy and you're not from Western Canada, I'm ready to chuck. My chin is tucked in. Again, I'm probably going to get beat up, but I'm ready to go.
You won't get beat up, dude.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you got a guy from Northern Ontario and he's mistaken, or maybe it's a guy from New Jersey,
Thunder Bay,
yeah, or even just a guy from say Toms River, New Jersey, and he's packing.
Dude, remember that goalie I told you that I was on steroids?
Yeah,
he's from Toms River. Shout out Toms River.
They always have good Little League baseball teams. Toms River,
them and Chinese Taipei, very good.
Yeah, who's the one guy? Todd Frazier, I believe, came out of Toms River. Todd Frazier, he would always attend the home run derby.
Frazier, is that a boxer?
Toddy Two Gloves. No, he played with the Mets, a little bit with the Yankees. But yeah, just I would say 5-10 years ago, he would like never make the All-Star game, but he would go to the home run derby.
Mike away.
And he would win it.
Yeah, man, Toms River, hell of a place. A lot of chicks with tempers, a lot of dudes on steroids. And it makes sense that they will be good at Little League because if they don't, their parents are just going to berate them. That's a big thing in New Jersey. That family, it doesn't matter. Your dad can beat you up, kick your ass, yell at you. Family's everything. And it's tough love on this life episode of Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Hope you guys enjoyed the last episode with Scotty Upshaw. It wasn't live, but a lot of good feedback from friends and family on that. I'm just kidding. None of my friends listen to this, and my family does not care. But a lot of strangers on the internet liked that episode.
Yeah, they did. I think we had good chemistry, us three, in all seriousness. We were breaking down air traffic control, parenting, two guys, obviously, with kids we don't know about. We don't think we have any out there, but Scotty does. And, we were giving out parenting advice. It's always cool giving out parenting advice when you don't have kids because you can just say whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can act like the toughest dad ever. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that happens. I was at a bar actually talking to a guy and his kid was just a big shithead. And I was telling him what he should do. I have no experience in this whatsoever. We're just two guys hammered, just talking about life.
It's pretty cool too when you're hammered and you're giving out advice and you've been drunk for the better part of 24 hours.
You start crying to a stranger.
You start hugging them.
Speaking of getting drunk for 24 hours, this is actually... We're going to bring him on stage here. This is actually to make this segment about me for a second. I've never seen Mr. Pagnotta. Is it Noda? It's Noda or Nada. I'm so bad with
depends how you do your G's, but yeah.
Like Johnny Lazarus, I never get his name right. I say Lazarus. But anyway, I've never seen this guy before without having 10 to 12 drinks in me. So it's great to have him on the program.
He's everywhere.
Here he is.
From the fourth period.
Yeah. How we doing, boys?
Insider Dave Pagnotta. Fella, how you doing? First off, I just saw your chin about, I don't know, 2 hours ago on Missing Curfew, but you're coming
Yeah.
on the Real Hockey Show over here. Hockey Night in Scottsdale, dudes talking hockey. That's all we talk about. I don't know if you know, that's like, we're just crazy about hockey.
I love it.
Wait, you guys were both just on podcasts?
Yeah.
You guys are grinding. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I just played tennis. I'm such an asshole. You guys are just
It's been
Anyway.
it's been a day. It's been a day, boys. It's going to be a busier one tomorrow too.
So let's get into it, Pegs. Let's get into the trade deadline. Let's get into what we've been hearing as of late. Obviously, about 24 hours out to the deadline, and you kind of alluded to it when we were talking about it. 90 to 95% of the names being thrown out there don't actually end up getting moved. But if you were a betting man and we're sitting here tomorrow thinking, okay, is this guy going to be on the move? And that is Mikko Rantanen. I think he's the biggest horse in the game, obviously. Is that a guy you see going somewhere in the next 24 hours, or is Carolina going to hang tight and ultimately just, punt down to July 1st and hope they can re-sign him then?
I think, well, I don't think he's signing, period. And I think that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why they've taken a more aggressive approach towards moving him. I think if there's an extension in place, because he's open to a sign and trade with specific teams. If there's an extension in place, I think it's doable. I think there are deals that are there right now that are contingent on an extension that would be a good return for Carolina, and those teams would be ready to do something now. It's going to come down to what he wants. So, like, if he's down to play in Dallas or Florida or LA or Vegas for a long, well, actually Vegas is not part of the long-term situation, but if he's down to be in one of those spots or another market, then they could probably get a deal done by tomorrow, maybe tonight. If there's no extension, it's a lot more complicated. It's still possible, but a lot more complicated. Everything's on the table. But I do think teams like Dallas, like Florida, maybe LA are some teams that he would be down to sign an extension to now.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, and I wanted to stay right there in Florida, and I wanted to ask you, now they don't have a ton of assets to give away. They've kind of mortgaged their future in that way. Would Florida be willing to move one of their key players going back to Carolina? Like Reinhardt, is that on the table, or is that not necessarily something you're hearing?
Yeah, I don't know about him, but I do know if he moves with a new contract, then yeah, there's a significant piece going back. So whether it's the Panthers or Dallas or whoever, then it's you got to pay, you got to give to get, right? And you're getting the player for 8 more years after this season. You got to cough up something significant. So we'll see what happens. But Florida's an interesting one because I think they'd like to make it happen, and I think he would be down to sign there. But what are you giving up? What kind of pieces are you giving up? It's not going to be a Bennett or an Ekblad because they're on expiring deals. So they got to figure out what they want to do. Is it Lundell? Is it another, like a multi-piece package? It's going to be a tough one, boys, for them to try to juggle that one. Dallas, would you give up Jason Robertson for a signed Mikko Rantanen for 8 more years?
I would.
Honestly, I would. Yeah.
I would, yeah. I would give up Wyatt Johnston.
No,
he's too good.
No.
Seeing him play in person, oh my god! Like we're just a couple idiots sitting in a living room. But I would definitely take Rantanen over Robertson. Anything to do with Wyatt Johnston after seeing him play in person, absolutely not. That kid's gonna be good for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what, and it might take more than that. It might take more than Robertson to pull it off. So that's what Dallas has to weigh. Florida has to weigh. Other teams that are going to get this guy, if it comes with an extension, are going to have to give up a significant piece, more than what Carolina paid Colorado. So that's what they got to figure out. But I think Dallas is a possibility. I think Florida is a possibility. And then you got other teams that are there that may or may not include an extension. Toronto, Vegas without one for sure. LA would love to get their hands on this guy. But would he sign there? That's what they got to figure out in the next.
Tough with those fires, man.
Yeah, little smoke inhalation wouldn't be good.
Yeah, no.
Pegs, I wanted to ask you, so just staying on the Florida front, I think it makes sense just because they do have a lot of Finnish players there. I think obviously the Sunshine, that's something would be a no-brainer. I got to ask you, this kid's playing in Charlotte right now, and he just got signed to a two-way contract. He's bounced all over the place. He's a former 4th overall pick. He finds himself on maybe his 4th or 5th different team, and that is Jesse Puljujärvi. Now, I'm asking you as an insider, could you maybe talk to someone at Bauer to get this guy a helmet that fits? Because right now, I know when he walks into lids, I know when he walks into lids, he's got a size 9 fitted hat when he puts on that White Sox hat. So can Bauer, is there any way they could go with like a 4XL helmet? Because if you look at his ear loops, they're like at the crown of his head right now. It's like, fella, we need maybe just start with our style here. Can we get you a bucket that fits?
I'll try. I'll send out a message over to the guys at Bauer. Mark Messier's sister works for them, as she's up top in the marketing department. So maybe there's some inroads there. We can help this kid out a little bit, and maybe that's why. Maybe that's why he's been bouncing around. He can't find solid ground because that thing's going all over the place.
Yeah, he can't think. He should just get the Lars Eller custom mold. Like Lars Eller, his helmet, it's like a motorcycle helmet, but it's also a liability for the team. Yeah, that helmet's not big enough. He gets hurt. Like at the end of the day, these guys are humans. Yeah,
insurance on the guys probably through the roof.
Exactly.
We got a trade coming through that phone right now, Pegs, or what?
I don't know, but
that would be pretty sick.
That would be sick.
We would be like, say it here first. Yeah. I don't give a shit about.
I just sent them a text back, but we'll see. We'll see.
That's crazy how that works, man. Your screen time must just be through the roof at this time of the year.
It's a lot. Like it's a combo of that. It's not so much the eyes that kill you after all this week is done. It's like my fucking hands are killed. Sorry, my hands are.
No, you're good.
I don't know if we could do that here. Sorry.
You could do anything here. You could, you could point a gun at the screen. It does not matter.
I'm not packing, so I think we're good now. But this honestly, my fingers are just toast by the end of this. I'm at a point now where it's almost voice to text just to get through it, and even that sucks. You mess up the messaging, but we'll see what happens.
So, Pegs, I wanted to ask you, Steve Yzerman, Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah,
are they looking to now add something just at the deadline? Would they part ways with a guy like Vladimir Tarasenko? Talk to me on that front, because I do think it's been a relatively quiet, especially with the Wings being in that wild card position in the Eastern Conference.
Well, yeah, Tarasenko.
Riley Smith traded back to New York. Breaking news.
Riley Smith going to the KHL.
Give me 1 sec.
We have a live.
I know. This is great for broadcast right here. Just looking at me.
Oh no, that's fine. And by the way, dude, I always I was sitting here getting anxious over it. Whenever I mispronounce someone's name, I'm like dyslexic when it comes to names. Where I'm from in New York, people take that very, very personal. So it's nothing personal. You're a great dude. I always get people's names wrong pronunciation wise. It's hard to talk around these fucking huge teeth I have. But anyway, back to the program. I was just using that.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I don't give a shit. I get called all kinds of things. Plus the mispronunciation of my name. So I don't really care. It's all good, buddy. Not what I expected. Detroit, Yzerman.
Get some side action coming through.
Was it Yzerman? Oh, it was a chick?
No, yeah. It could have. The other one was. What's it called? What were we talking about? Detroit. Yes, Detroit.
Yeah.
Tarasenko hasn't been happy with his usage, so they've been trying to find a new home for him. But with them adding, they're in that wild card race, but like his picture is more long term. So if he can, that's why we've heard that Detroit's been looking at Dylan Cousins and Zegras to a certain extent, and a few other guys, younger guys that are controllable, that can fit more of like a long-term process with the Wings, that fit the mold, that complement Lucas Raymond, Mo Seider, and some of the other guys that they've got in that group. Todd McClellan, I give him a shit ton of credit. Like, he has really gotten these guys going ever since he came in behind the bench. They lost that first one to Toronto, and then they've just been steamrolling since. And they're in this thing. So like, Yzerman wants to help, but he doesn't want to mortgage the direction of the team that they're going in. So if they can get in on Cousins, if they can get in on Elias Pettersson and try to make something fit there, they've been poking around for those types of deals. Maybe there's some little splashes here and there, but in terms of like big picture, that seems to be what the Wings are looking for, talking to some other people around the league.
I have an exclusive insider that said that Pedersen and Yzerman rather doesn't like the Pedersen's game that much because of the lack of toughness. Like he's not, a guy that, yeah, he's not like obviously he's not a JT Miller, but Yzerman's the Yzer plan. He knows what it takes to win the playoffs. You got to be big. You got to be mean.
And he's been willing to, and he's not shy to make big moves. Right. Like even with Tampa before, he left there, like he was willing to make some moves, but he stuck to his plan. He didn't want to deviate from it, and it helped pay off. And then Brisebois kind of took things over from there. That certainly makes sense to have bringing in a guy, especially in his days when he played in Detroit, the jam that they had in that lineup and the edge that those guys played with. I mean, they had Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer caliber guys on the teams that Yzerman was playing in throughout his championship era. So, to go after those kinds of guys that have that jam in their game, it makes a lot of sense. Pettersson obviously doesn't come with that. He brings a different type of style. Another team I've always wondered about, by the way, on Petey is Ottawa. They were poking around for a little bit on him.
Ooh, choke and poke. Yeah, that makes sense. Pegs, we're big Rust Belt guys. We're big Chippewa Street guys. Shout out to Mother's Kitchen in the beautiful, right in the heart of Buffalo, New York. Now listen, what the fuck is going on in Buffalo? Is Kevin Adams gonna have is he safe? Does he have a job come April at the end of the season? Is he gonna make any moves? Or right now, is he just hanging on for dear life, just sitting there the gray days of Buffalo thinking, I better not make that move, trading Byram, maybe Owen Power, because if I fuck this up, I might be out of here.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think they've had discussions internally in that group and management and within the ownership that they may make a change at the top.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily mean Adams is going to be out completely. I think he gets moved to another. This was the talk. He gets moved to another position. They bring in another GM.
He gets promoted.
It's good. It's good to know people, right? It's good.
It is, yeah. Oh shit.
It's good to know people in high places. But to bring in another GM, that may be why there's been a little bit of hesitancy in terms of making a bigger splash now. Because look, they've gotten calls on Cousins. They've gotten calls on Byram. They've gotten calls on Owen Power. They won't trade Dahlin. They won't trade Thompson. It's a hell of a big package in order to get Tuck or Peterka, but they're willing to listen on the other guys. And I think there's some frustration from all three of those other guys, Power, Cousins, Byram, with what's going on there. And I think that's probably why they're willing to listen. But, I mean, we'll see. There has been a lot of interest in those guys, and there is a willingness to do some hockey type of movement. There was some talk a couple weeks ago that St. Louis was poking around Power. I mean, we'll see. Again, 95 of the guys that get talked about out there that don't even get revealed. Shit never happens. But you've got to do your job and you got to poke around, right? So a lot of teams are doing it. I don't get the sense that Buffalo said, no, fuck off. We're not dealing with you on any of these players that I mentioned other than Dahlin and Thompson.
You know what the thing with Buffalo that really gets me frustrated? Because I actually feel for the people that it's almost impressive going this long without playoffs. I would argue that there should be some type of banner hung up for not making playoffs this long, because I think it's just almost harder to do than make the playoffs. But that aside, how many times are you going to cycle through guys that have superstar potential? Eichel, the Reinhardts, I'm missing one. O'Reilly. It's like, how many times are you going to cycle through, have great players, ship them away, and nothing changes? At what point do you stick your boots in the mud and say, hey, the locker room is going to stay the same, but management's going to change? It goes back to the politics behind the scenes stuff of it. But that's what I would be preaching in there. Like, let's just stop. We keep moving guys in and out, and the result's not changing. I mean, where do we start at the top? Like,
Well, you got to. I mean, at some point, you got to just say, well, shit, I'm not equipped to handle this, and we need some other guys coming in here to help us out. The talent's there. It's just, and they got the right pieces. It's just they're not clicking together. It's not working. And with that decor, even though it's young, like they should be a shit ton better than they are right now.
Yes.
Goaltending's been a factor certainly, but you've got some good young pieces. They just haven't clicked. They got rid of Middlestat. That didn't work out. They brought in Byram. Now they're talking about trading Byram. They traded away the guys you mentioned. Even Ristolainen, he got shit on all over for his play in Buffalo, and he still has that reputation. If you look at his numbers and what he's done in Philly since he joined them, he's been a hell of a lot better. So there's something in the water out there that they can't seem to fix. And I feel bad for the fans out there because it's way too long to be looking at playing anything beyond middle of April.
Just to show up to the Key Bump Arena day after day, game after game, and the definition of insanity, as we know, is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. It's like, what do you even do there? And it's hilarious to think that they might bring in a new GM and Kevin Adams might go to the president. That's Buffalo Sabre hockey to a T, right there.
It's like
just wipe that whole thing out.
Yeah, it's like they're stuck. Like there's ownership and it is what it is. And what are you going to do? It's like, I don't know. Like I agree with you, Pags. Like it's the players, the talent's there. It's something else. They've had a lot of talent be in that system in the last 10 years,
The thing with that is when you're losing day after day after day after day, and then you got to hear it in the media and you can hear the fans shitting all over you. And social media, it's bad. And your buddies are like, hey, you doing all right? Like you hear that same shit. Your parents are bothering you, trying to get on your – like you hear that over and over and over again. You're just like, fuck, I don't care anymore. Like it sucks the life out of you. It's tough. It really is. Like I'm not talking about 1, 2, 3 months. It's year after year, season after season, and you just get screwed and caught into that trap. You can't get out of it. It's a tough situation. Something's got to give at some point. We thought maybe – when they started the season, they laid an egg against both of those games overseas to New Jersey. And then they came back and they went on a little bit of a decent stretch. And then it just was like, nope, we're not going to allow this to happen. The hockey gods were like, not a chance, boys. You guys are going to the shitter again.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how much money you make. At the end of the day, losing sucks. Like I played on horrible teams where nobody on my team was going to make it in any fashion in hockey. They were all going straight to the worst Division III hockey teams. But it doesn't matter. If you're losing, it still sucks regardless of where you're at. So, yeah, it's a tough situation.
100%.
Yeah.
Pegs, last one I had for you. It's an interesting situation they find themselves in. Jack Hughes going to be out until next September. And they had high aspirations to be a playoff team come April. They didn't make one acquisition in bringing in Brian Dumoulin from the Anaheim Ducks. But if you're Tommy Fitzgerald, a.k.a. Fitzmagic there in East Rutherford, New Jersey, what do you do, man? Do you stand pat? Do you just kind of let your group play it out? Because I feel like they've deserved the right to play competitive, high-level hockey come playoff time. But at the same rate, it's like we're missing our best player, boys. Like, is it get into the dance and see what happens? Or is it like, fuck, now we got to fold?
I think, like, they brought in Dumoulin, so you got a little stay-at-home guy on the back end.
Yep.
You can't go fully all in because – what the hell is the point without Jack? But what they're looking to do, they still want to buy, but they're looking at guys with term. So like the Braden Shens, the Ryan O'Reillys, like those kinds of players. I wonder about Ricard Raquel. I know LA's been pushing hard on that one. So you look at guys that still have term on their contract that are signed for the next 2, 3, 4 seasons. Because you want to give yourself a bit of ammunition going into the playoffs now. You're probably going to lose in the first round, maybe, depending who you end up playing without Jack. So at least you've got a little extra experience playoff-wise. You get a little extra at the gate. And then you've got a guy who's been there for a little stretch. And next season you look to go, like, full load. Like, Hamilton's hurt as well. It's a shitty spot for the Devils. I feel for them because Jack got hurt last season and that their season went to shit. And this year he's down again. It's a tough spot, but if they are going to continue to add anything big, is likely to include somebody that has term on that deal.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot, and even just looking across the river, if you're looking from Snowboken into Lower Manhattan, the Rangers, Kelvin DeHaan. I mean, you had a guy like that. You say what you want. He's played a long time in the league, but he ain't moving the needle. And as well as just they're looking a little thin on that blue line, especially with Adam Fox.
They just got Carson Soucy.
No way. Are we breaking that
Just
right
now?
now?
Out of Vancouver. I think it's out there, but Carson Soucy, Vancouver traded him to Vancouver. I think it's a draft pick. I'm pretty sure it's out there. It should be out there, but they added somebody on that back end, and he's got term. Like, he's got another year on that deal, which is kind of aligned with what they wanted.
Did Hockey Night in Scottsdale fuck that up from you tweeting it out? Did you miss that one?
I knew
I'll get you on. I actually have sneaky ties.
Listen, if it was Rantanen or Brock Nelson or someone, I tell you guys to shut the fuck up for a second so I can deal with this. But it's okay. Due respect to Carson Soucy.
Okay, yeah, it's
not going to move the needle that much.
It's Carson Soucy. Who gives a shit?
It's the wedge salad on the starter menu. It's not the tomahawk.
That is kind of funny, man, because you got to be so dialed, like, and it's your livelihood, it's your career, it's being the best at what you do, and that, I would have felt so bad if we just fucked that up.
No, listen, if it was a big one, I'd be like, hold up, pause. But you got to double check on these kinds of things too, right? Like, I get. And it's not just me; it's all the guys. Like, we get all kinds of shit all the time, and you kind of gotta decipher what's legit, what isn't. When can you go with something? When can't you? Being first is cool, but you fuck something up, and I've gotten a few wrong in my day. That shit haunts you for a little while because you feel bad, especially if you say the wrong name. I did that last year. There was a trade. What was it? Carolina and Pittsburgh, the Gensel trade. And I thought there was a kid in the deal. One of my guys with one of the teams told me, and then came back and said, nope, he's not in the final deal. So I felt more bad. I don't give a shit what people are going to chirp me about. I don't care about that. I feel more bad that I threw his name out there and he wasn't dealt, and I gave that kid a heart attack for like 5 minutes.
I just actually got your number from that group chat with Swish, and I'm planning on going to a happy hour at PF Chang, so I might get a little drunk and send you some random news things. You just got to figure out. I'm just going to test you, see if you know if it's fake.
Hey, give me the goods. To test away, and then one day, because I've been trying to meet you boys on the road a couple times. It hasn't really worked out. I got to get in on one of those someday.
100%. I wanted to ask you, like, what does today look like? Like, after this, after you hang up, like, can you go sit at a happy hour and have one Manhattan and just basically stand by your phone pegs, or like what? Talk me through like just these next 24 hours. Like, you essentially are not sleeping, are you? Really?
No, I'm getting a nap from like 4 to 6, 4 to 7 this morning.
Damn.
Because you got to keep tabs on what's going on out west.
That's what I mean.
And I'm here in the East Coast, so I gotta deal with both. I don't think if there's something big that breaks, I'll probably do some on-air stuff. But the rest of it tomorrow, it's waking up, getting an update from everybody. I'll be doing the same thing now, just keeping tabs with everyone. I'm on air with NHL Network starting at 2 p.m. Until I think 7, and then in between NHL Radio as well. Handling that. So you gotta stay on. The camera's rolling. You're on your phone. You're trying to figure out exactly what the hell is going on here in the hockey world. And sometimes you get shit. Like I said, you get it first. Sometimes you don't. But as long as you get the information right, that's for this job. That's all that matters.
100%. Yeah, dude. Eventually, we're going to let you go here because I know you're a busy fella, especially this time of year. We thank you for coming on. But, man, we got some shows lined up here in the next couple months. So I'll send you the dates off the air here, what we're kind of thinking, and hopefully we can meet up for one, because that shift we put in at Marvel last year at the All-Star game was all time. Me and you, we walked down King Street at about 5 in the morning. You went south, I went north. It was that was all time, man.
Yeah,
So
that was a good time. That was,
yeah,
and unfortunately, Marble's done. So
I know.
Oh, what?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
hate
It's
the
okay.
snake.
There's a few spots in Toronto here that
Yeah.
they do all right.
Yeah. Parlor's decent, eh? Good happy hour.
Oh, Parlor's a great one. Deer Lady up
Yeah.
top. Yep, they
Yeah.
got some good
Holy
stuff.
tree.
Friday, Saturdays.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good city. All right,
Yeah,
brother. Well, we appreciate
Pete.
you. Thank you for coming on. You're the
Yeah,
best.
Pag, seriously, thank you
Yeah,
for taking the time and doing this. That's great.
yeah, boys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right.
All right,
Peace out.
Take
fella.
care.
Later.
That's it's crazy how dialed in you have to be. And people don't realize the grind behind the scenes. It's kind of like what we do. I had some kid tweet me the other day, and this dickhead, he's like, dude, like all you do is podcast and you put out 2 shows a week. Like, what else do you do? Like, that's it. You should be on the mic every day. First of all, I do 5 shows a week. Second of all, you're doing a million shows a week. If only they knew, though, behind the scenes, the phone. Listen, I'm not trying to say we're constructing the Brooklyn Bridge here, but the phone calls, the emails, the travel, the networking, you got to find time to bunk chicks just to keep your head on straight. It's a bit of a grind. It's fun. It's
Oh,
good.
it's the best.
These aren't complaints. I'm not saying, but people behind the scenes, like you see, Pags is working.
Yep.
Fucking just grind it, dude. That's what grinding is these days.
Well, that's showbiz. And first off, on the Pegs front, I could tell that he missed one because his phone lit up 3 times, and he was like, I could just see the insider in him, and I felt bad. I was like, did you miss that one because of us? And he's like, yeah, but it's just so-see, it's like
That's pretty funny.
serviceable defense. He's like, it's just, it's like a flank steak. I don't need that. I don't need to try that.
Yeah, but how cool would it have been if the ranting one came through and he was like, "Boy, shut the fuck up,
Yep.
shut the fuck up." I would have been like, "Is this guy serious?" I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I would have shut my mouth because he has to,
Yep.
focus. But he was doing a pretty good job multitasking.
He
He was texting and listening to your Buffalo question.
Yep.
I was looking at him and he was on his phone. I'm like, "Is he listening too?" And then he answered the question perfectly. I'm like, this guy's fucking good.
It's insane. And I could just see like the people's insider me could see that he had something, and he's like, fuck, I don't care. But it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's awesome just to chat with those guys because they literally at this time of year, dude, they don't do anything other than just refresh their phone.
They can't even
Like,
bang their wife.
No, you watch porn.
You're done. You miss a trade.
Like imagine you had your, do not disturb on because you're trying to tug one out. And all of a sudden, boom, you missed the rant and trade. It's like, dude, I literally just went to the unisex bathroom, tried to snap one out in 30 seconds, and bam, there's another, they look at it like money. I mean, that's another, $10,000, $20,000 in their pocket. They're probably getting another gig the following year on, say, a TNT or an NHL network.
You got to be the best one. It's thankless because it's
Yes.
not like you break the trade and you get your dividends right away, right? It's like you break the trade and, like you said, later next year, oh, we're going to have this guy on because he's on top of the shit. He knows all the accurate information. But yeah, dude, you got to really be dialed in. That's awesome that he came on here.
There's no harder working guy in hockey, by the way. Like that guy is on the road probably 24 days a month. And he doesn't even know where he is at the most time. He's in different arenas, different cities, different bars. I mean, he does like an old fashioned. Pegford is the man.
Yep.
We've had a couple tequila shots with him.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah. So he's just one of the hardest working guys in hockey. And, thankfully we were able to get him on here on our hockey show because, again, this is a hockey show, folks. I don't know if the people know this by now, but, dude, all we talk like this morning, like we had an hour call where all we were talking about was hockey.
Just hockey the whole time. And guys, listen. If you're in the chat and you're not talking about hockey, just fucking get the hell out of here. This is a hockey show. Get your sorry ass out of the chat if you're not talking about hockey. And Swish, before we get back into hockey, are you a turn DND on before you go on your phone for a tug? Like you turn on Do Not Disturb?
Yeah, you have to. Just because you don't want to get a text from, God bless her, but your mom or because then you're only human, man. The thoughts go different ways. I'm just saying if you're going to tug one out, especially not in the confinements of your home when you have a laptop or an iPad accessible, yes, put it on Do Not Disturb. But I want to hear about the Starbucks story that you had for me. You were coming on the way over here. Maybe the guy was gay, maybe he had blue hair. Like, talk to me on that front. Not that it just adds context and layers to the story.
Yeah, he thought I was cute for sure. But
did he tell you were cute? Because I've had a dude tell me I'm cute. I said, no. Do not say that.
Can you say that story before that I say this story? Because I want to hear that story. Wait, you had a confrontation with a guy that called you cute?
Yep. Yeah, in a Starbucks.
Was it the Starbucks right above Shea?
No, it was at the airport, Terminal 3.
Gay dudes love working at Starbucks, so it's not like
in
I
the
could.
airport too, because it's time and a half.
Can
You get paid
you?
more?
Can you? Oh, what?
Yeah. I had my tennis bag and I had a jumper on, and he told me, "Do you play tennis?" And he asked me where I was going. He told me he was from Atlanta. He had a court there where he played. He was a white guy
Gay
from
city.
Atlanta. So if you're white in Atlanta, you're probably gay.
No disrespect.
No.
Either. It's like a fact.
No,
yeah.
it's just a fact. Yeah, if like you're from like
yeah.
you know, Gwinnett.
I found that out in the airport there.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to the gay dude. Yeah, he made me my Americano, and then he told me my Fila jumper that I wear a decent amount was cute. And I said, dude, I didn't say it because it was early in the morning, but I was thinking it. I was like, man, if you call me cute one more time, dude, I'm shoving something up your butt, and it's not what you want.
Well, I think he would like that. Though.
It's gonna be you know what I mean? Like I'm taking that end of that fucking sweeper, and
I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I feel like he would like that.
No, I know. So, but that's the thing. Like I could shove that. Like he would like it then. You know what I mean?
But then you're almost satisfying him, though.
So then, does that make me gay?
No,
Okay,
because
but he's getting what he wants too. Yeah,
it's a win-win situation. It's
so I don't get in trouble, is what I'm trying to say.
No, you would get in trouble.
Would I? What
For putting
if he's
something
like,
up a guy's ass? Yeah. Oh, what if he consents?
yeah? What if he's like, yeah, I like.
Are you in the bathroom or you're like in the concourse
No.
of Phoenix Sky Harbor? Like, what are we talking?
Yeah, like he just pulled out of not pulled out, but just literally like pulled a sausage, egg, and cheddar out of that, makeshift George Foreman they have at Starbucks.
Yeah.
And he walks over, and I'm just, fuck you.
Yeah, I feel like
I joust him.
Women and okay, I feel like if there's women and children around and they look over the counter,
right,
and this guy's bent over with a broomstick in his ass, or would you say it was going to be?
Yeah, whatever.
I think there would probably be an issue. I think you would get in trouble.
This is a hockey show.
Yeah, this is a hockey show. My story's not as cool as that, but no, he just like took my order, and at the window, he goes, "Hockey night in Scottsdale." He's like, "Where's that hockey in Scottsdale?" And I was like, "Do you mean like to play hockey, or do you mean like a professional team?" He's like, "Both." I was like, "All right." When you said that, he wasn't curious in anything. He just wanted me to talk to him. So then I like tucked my boner in my pants. I got a little hard when he said that, and then I said, "Yeah." I like fucking moved the steering wheel like in, and I like leaned over the steering wheel. You like that kid that self-shuttered?
Yeah,
that was crazy. People wanted me to talk about that on the Rob Gucci show. I'm like, dude, the guy just killed himself. I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Let's wait a week.
Anyway, back to this really cool story. It's really not a good story. It was just, okay, I'll just say it.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, man, if you're talking about the hoodie, I just switched it because he read it from this. And I was just like, yeah, we're actually a hockey show, but there's no hockey team here. They moved the team. And he goes, "Oh no," which is like the coolest response. Like a gay, like he's like leaning halfway out the window at this point.
Yeah.
Like we're almost kissing. And he just goes like, "Oh no," and I go, "Yeah, like just wasn't a good situation here." They moved him up to Utah, and he's like, "Oh," and he goes, "So what's hockey night in Scottsdale?" And I just said, I just was like, we're a hockey show. Like, we actually never talk about hockey, but we strictly talk about hockey. Like, I put this guy's brain in a blender. He's like, "Oh, nice." And then this is where it got gay. He goes, "It looks so comfortable." To the hoodie. God. Bro, how are you about to look at my hoodie and say that? Like, that's
he wants you to give him the shirt off the back.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants me to
be then he wants to see
he wants to be like, "Oh my God, it is comfortable." Like,
you fill that out better than I do.
Dude, but think about this interaction. He went from asking me about hockey in Arizona straight, and then I answered.
Yeah.
And then it went straight into
something sexual.
Something cozy. Something cozy.
That's what gay dudes do, man. They test straight guys to see if they're gay. Which I would too.
They trap you, dude. I don't want to mention his name, but Bo loves. I don't want to mention his name, so we'll edit this out. But Bo loves going to gay clubs in California.
Cheap drinks.
It's like cheap drinks, dudes that'll buy you drinks, and then you kind of have to like turn them down, like girls do to guys, which is crazy
because they spike them.
Oh yeah, they spike those things, dude. If you have a drink in West Hollywood, and even if it's a bottled water, and if you buy a bottle of water in West Hollywood and you hear the seal crack, there's a good chance that is spiked with Quaaludes.
Yeah, it tastes like Cialis and Molly.
Yeah, which is weird because I don't know why gay dudes want to fuck a guy that is a limp fish. Like, let's do this thing if we're gonna do it. Hypothetically, I would.
Everybody wants what they can't have.
Yeah, tell Putin that. This is a hockey show.
This is a hockey show, but just staying on the gay front, just quickly.
Oh, I got to finish the story, but it's kind of over. It's kind of over. I basically ended it like, I just said like, yeah, they're really good. They're our best hoodies. And he's like, "Oh, our." And I was like, yeah. And he's like, this guy's like dissecting information for me. And I was like, yeah, it's my show.
Yeah.
And then I went like, oh, fuck. Like, he's going to look it up. He's going to DM me on Instagram or like send me a picture of his dick or something. But like, anyway, I just thought it was funny how that conversation went from me getting a coffee. And by the way, he probably thought I was gay because I got a tall, which is the smallest one you can get.
That is gay.
So he just got from where's hockey in Arizona to that looks like a cozy sweatshirt to like, oh wait, what do you mean it's your show? Like, it was crazy. So anyway, that was it.
He almost got to your address.
Dude, yeah, he might be at my house on the couch naked when I get back.
Do you think gay dudes sit there?
We've been talking about gay guys a lot.
Yeah, but
recently,
I just wanted to wrap this up on the gay front. Do you think gay dudes sit there with other gay dudes and make fun of straight guys?
100%.
Like, that's the funniest part, because talking about gay dudes, which there's nothing wrong with being gay,
dude.
But do you think on the other end of the spectrum, gay dudes sit there and make fun of straight guys? That's a funny bit.
Absolutely.
What do you think they say? Like, why do you like boobs?
Look at this guy. Look at this guy fucking talking about back shots. Like, I don't even know. I wouldn't be good impersonating a gay dude.
Yeah.
But
you
yeah,
think they do?
No, I know they do. My sister has a gay.
That's so funny.
My sister has a gay friend, and he came to dinner over the summer, and he was talking shit about straight dudes. I don't even remember what he was saying because I was pretty pinned.
Yeah.
But I remember, I go, this kid's fucking funny. Like, the kid was actually hilarious. And you know how gay dudes are. They're very just like upbeat and flamboyant and like fucking,
because they finally got to come out. Like,
yeah,
I
I would come out of the closet so fast if I was gay. I would come out when I was fucking 3.
Really?
It would be like one of my first or second words. I would be like, mama, dada. Actually, my dad's not in my life. So mama. And then my second word would be like, I'm gay. You got to come out of the closet right away, dude. If we have any, to our closeted listeners out there, just come out of the closet. Just be yourself. No one cares. Fuck everybody else.
Do we have
This is a hockey show.
Do we have an official gay respondent yet?
No, we don't. Oh, wait, no. We
had a lesbian, didn't we?
We have a black correspondent, a lesbian correspondent, and I ran into a kid at the Nodak game. ASU, remember that kid? And he said, hey, I love your stuff. I'm gay. And I go, nice. And he goes, I want to give you something. And I said, what does that mean? And then he gave me the F word pass.
Okay.
I don't want to use it right now. It rhymes with maggot.
Yep.
Starts with fag.
Rhymes with bag,
He said, you're allowed to say this, and I'm giving you permission. And I said, thank you. And we shook hands. And
Is that a lifetime subscription, or is that like 12 months? Is it quarterly?
So the way it works is he said that I'm allowed to tweet it out.
Okay.
So I've never.
That's actually nice, man.
I know. I have it in my back pocket. I have my N-word pass too. I got it this summer.
Yeah, that one's. I think you have to get that one cleared by at least. I would say that's almost like a petition where you need like 100 signatures. Where the bag.
Does it count if I say it in my car? Because I've definitely said it in my car.
Are you singing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not like yelling at a black homeless guy. Like, you mother.
Yeah, as long as you say you GGA, not ER in your car, I think you're fine.
Oh, I've never said ER.
Yeah, because that's just mean.
Yeah, I don't think so.
This is a hockey show.
This is a hockey show. You were saying something before I brought up. I like steered this topic way.
No, it's all good.
Sideways. I don't remember what we're talking about. The gay. Oh, I was gonna say
it's our official Ellen DeGeneres side of things here at the segment.
I've been looking back at like our clips and stuff, and we have a lot of bits about gay dudes, and I'm starting to think we should basically say like this is. You know what? This isn't even a hockey show. This is just straight up a gay hockey show now. Because that's how you get attention these days.
We would get a lot of followers.
If we be the first openly gay hockey show, like that, that's how it goes. Now.
I'm down to stunt.
Remember what Kevin Spacey did?
Yeah.
He molested kids, and then in court, he looked at the judge. He's like, yeah, well, I'm gay. And they're like, Kevin. And his lawyer's like, Kevin, shut the fuck up. And his lawyer's like, Kevin, just because you're gay doesn't mean you can have sex with underage people.
Did you see how many followers D Wade's kid got when he converted?
Oh, he's a trans, right?
Yeah, like that. You
Probably
know what
a lot,
like,
man.
It's show business, man. At the end of the day, we're all playing a character.
Yeah, I mean, bro, if you're trans, like, dude, here's my deal.
Like, if we went to an openly gay hockey podcast, we definitely would have more sponsors. We got one on the line. Though,
we would get so many sponsors, but then also when they find out we're not gay,
right?
I don't know how they would find out that though.
Yeah,
can they prove it?
I don't know. They'd have to like see you like not bunking dudes, which most guys do that in the confinements of their house unless they go to. I would say Burning Man. Anyway. Yeah.
Anyways, this is a hockey show, but something about D Wade. Oh, I was gonna actually give some life advice right now.
Yeah.
If you're trans or whatever, I don't give a fuck as long as you don't bother anybody. or force it on people, we have no problems. I don't care what the fuck you are. Waste Management Open, dude. We went to the Waste Management Open. Guess what?
Yeah.
On the corner of the streets, there are people with signs screaming about God, with microphones screaming about their religion. That's when it becomes a problem for me. Shut the fuck up, dude. Like, I'll make my own decisions. I'm a grown-ass man. Don't be yelling at me about Philippines 316 on the sidewalk. I'm trying to enjoy my day watching golf.
Yeah, like I don't need to see your sign that says John Cougar, John Deere, and John 316. I'm literally, my mushrooms are about to hit, and I'm going to be on the 16th hole pinned. Yes. Shut up, dude.
Dude,
like, this
shut
is not
up.
like you don't need to protest with a bunch of drunk people. Remember, I was telling that guy to literally shut up.
Yeah,
microphone. I was yelling at him, dude. Shut up.
That was so funny, dude. Even the cops were laughing.
Yeah, I wish I would have got that on camera.
I want to paint the picture for everybody. So on the corner of the street, this guy's set up with like a table, a tent. He's screaming about God. You have to repent. You guys are all sinning, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, this guy definitely molests kids. And Swish, everybody stopped at the sidewalk because you can't go yet.
Yep.
And Swish just turns to this dude like 5 feet away. He's like, dude, shut up. Guy keeps going. And you're like, dude, shut up. And everyone's like, thank you. Somebody has the balls to say it. I was like saying it kind of under my breath. Like, dude,
yeah.
What is your problem, man?
Yeah, I was definitely getting a lot of love as that crosswalk turned from, red to the little guy lit up in white to walk across. And everyone's like, thank God somebody said it. But at the same time, it's like, you're proving nothing, dude. Just seriously, shut up, dude.
You're bothering everybody else's day. It's also a sin to not bother people. And you're on the sidewalk screaming in my ear with a megaphone. And I asked the cop, I go, how is he allowed to do that? And the cop, dude, that fucking cop was a dickhead.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, well, it's freedom of speech. I can't do anything about it. I'm like, no. That's not my point, dude. I get freedom of speech. But he has a megaphone. Is that not disturbing the peace?
Yeah.
I'm not a justice major. I'm not a lawyer, a doctor.
No, I'm just slept with a few of them.
I'm just who?
Doctors and lawyers.
Yeah.
That's like, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I only, before I have intercourse with a woman, I make sure I go through a resume, actually.
Right. Do
you have a cover page on this resume?
Does your last name come after MD? Are you a medical doctor?
That's hot if the chick's a doctor, dude.
Nancy, it's like when you're not a movie guy, but just Blades of Glory. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, of course, yeah.
When Chaz Michaels is sitting there, and he goes, Nancy Kerrigan, you an official here? So you've officially given me a boner. Now that is a classic. Like it was Nancy Kerrigan.
Bro, imagine your wife was a doctor. I want my wife to be a doctor because I'm just gonna lay around the house and be like, honey, like I think I'm sick. There's something wrong with my balls.
Yeah.
I need your all right.
She just touches you and fondles you, and then maybe the next thing you know, you got a gummer.
Yeah, and then she has like the stethoscope on and she's like putting it on your nutsack and it's like, that's too cold. That's where I draw the line. Anyway, This is a hockey show. Chat. Get that fucking thing buzzing.
Yeah, get that thing buzzing. Bob, tell them what we did yesterday, too, by the way. We just want to give a little preview of, I don't know if everyone saw it, but
go. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I just wanted you to explain to the people what we did.
No, dude. So we suited up in basketball. Gitch went down to the courts and we filmed a video 1-on-1. Very serious match. And we had something on the line. Wow, the chat is actually buzzing. We played for a ticket to a Miami Heat game because we are doing a pop-up podcast in Miami at the end of the month from inside a restaurant. And we're going to go to a Heat game. And the loser had to buy the other one their ticket. So we played 1-on-1 basketball. I don't have to explain basketball to you guys, I don't think. But it's going to be out soon. And it was a grudge match, dude. I got to say, from a guy that's 5'11".
I'm sore today.
Dude, I'm really sorry.
From basketball.
It's hard to play when you're fucking 6'3". I couldn't get around you, like in the paint. Like,
and I was, my back was in one today. But that pop-up pod we're going to do, we actually are bringing on a sponsor, believe it or not. Folks.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
When we do announce that, we're going to need everyone to fly to these restaurants all over the Northeast. There's a couple in Florida because it's like a 1-month professional tryout. So we're actually bringing on a sponsor. And to extend that, we're going to need the Hockey Night in Scottsdale faithful to be all on board with that. But, Bob, we can announce that at a later date.
Yeah.
The basketball video was hilarious.
I just want to say in the chat, people go to my Instagram, Robbie W. Gucci. I'm on there playing tennis. People think I'm a horrible athlete. Like, I was getting DMs, and there's like, I think it's because of the Chicklets video. Yeah. I sucked at golf, which, by the way, you do not have to be athletic to play golf. I will die a horrible death on the hill. No. Do you know, can I, real quick here, I know we got to go soon. Do you know who Tony P in DC is?
No.
He's like this
Is
influencer
it a YouTuber?
Yeah, he's like an Instagram guy. And this is no disrespect to him. He golfs on Instagram sometimes. Great golf swing. Can play golf. He did something with Barstool where he had to shoot a basketball, kick a soccer ball, throw a football. Couldn't do any of it. The guy could barely run. No disrespect, Tony P. You know where you stand in athletics. My point is, you don't have to be an athlete to play golf. You don't have to be athletic to play golf. You just don't. So anyway, people are DMing me like, "Yo, dude, you actually have a silky jumper." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Why everyone thinks I'm retarded? Like, I don't know why everyone has that opinion of me. Like,
well, because there's a lot of those guys, and then again, this is no disrespect to Barstool, but a lot of those guys are just like super fans. They don't know how to. They're not athletes. You're an athlete, fella.
I'm a freak athlete. Remember that time and we were in that restaurant? You go, "No, you're not." I go, "I'm a freak athlete," and you're like, "No, you're not." We're both like eight drinks deep. But I could play any sport. But anyway, I just saw someone in the chat was like, "No way, Rob won," and like, we're not going to give away who won, but I can compete, fella. So shut the fuck up, you dipshit.
Let's go to the chat right now. What do we
Yeah.
got in the chat? Is it buzzing? We'll get on here for 10 odd minutes or whatever. If you guys are with us right now, how many people we got
in a hockey show? 105.
Nice. Okay. Well,
we should have more than that. What the fuck are people doing?
What's going on? Where's people at tonight?
Is this a hockey show?
This is a hockey show, my friend. I mean, it's crazy. We've been talking a ton of hockey. Last episode was obviously Scotty William Upshaw. And then Dave Pagnotta today. So we've been talking a lot of hockey, dude.
Yeah, Heater, we don't think you're not athletic, but Swish is in the show. Oh, no. I'm not fucking Swish is a pro athlete, dude. I'm not saying I'm that. I'm just saying that people are surprised I'm coordinated. I guess that's my point. Okay, let's go down the line here. Hughes being out for New Jersey is likely can you see that? Is like going to prom and walking in on your date getting raw dogged in the bathroom. I would say that's worse than Jack Hughes getting hurt, but it sucks, man. It really sucks that he's out. It's just, you hate to see it, dude.
Fuck, man. That reminds me of my prom.
I like him a lot.
My prom, I had the old fucking switcheroo, not like in that way, but I remember my date didn't want to whack me. And
no way.
I had to resort to something not as hot because I think it was like my second time ever. Fornicating. So yeah, man, that can happen at prom. That can happen in the middle of the season. But Rob, as we say, that's show business, man. You got to play on. Sucks for Jack Hughes though. Jizzy's awesome.
I didn't go to either of my proms.
Really? I came back for my junior year prom. It was a junior prom at Verona High, and I came back from Sioux City, Iowa. And I remember, I kind of had two girlfriends at the time, and I picked the wrong one.
That's fucking nails.
Yeah.
Fellas, I've had water stuck on my ear for a couple days. Top 10 worst feeling. As a former boogie boarder and surfer and man of the water, that sucks, dude.
Sucks.
You have to. This is what you have to do. If you don't already know, I'm going to give you two methods.
What do you put peanut butter in it?
No, that's for your dog to lick on that shit. Ew, that was disgusting. I don't know why I said that. Okay, one of the things is bounce on one of your legs, hop like on one leg, and shake your ear at the same time while you're hopping on one leg. The second one is get a pillow, lay down flat on your bed. You have to be completely naked for this. And you don't have to do that. And then just hit your head against the pillow over and over like you're fucking Daniel Carbomb Carcillo fucking with CT. And keep doing that on the pillow. That might work. Those are my two methods. Anyways, really? Yeah.
Okay.
The hopping one is way better. How many colors you got in the chin hat?
We have 3 right now. We have the white, we got a black, and we got this orange. And some of the giveaway ones I think we might do are this black and white. They're pretty crispy. They just came in. They were a gift from our chin doctor. So yeah, right now on sale, we got 3. The orange, though, is the crispiest in my humble opinion. Go order those at HockeyNightInScottsdale.shop. Again, HockeyNightInScottsdale.shop. All your merch for the fellas.
And I'm gonna we're gonna announce 3 winners because we still owe you guys 2 winners tomorrow on the deadline. I'm gonna make a note of that because I forgot to pick the last 2 like an idiot. So we're kind of backed up with merch anyway right now. So we're gonna pick those winners tomorrow on the show at the deadline. Why is Boston being stingy with getting a show? I mean, that's show business, man. That's part of the thing is like, and I don't want to say this as a complaint. It's kind of like those big cities. They're like, who the fuck are you guys? Fuck you guys. We're like, dude, we'll fill your building, you pussy. And then there's like, no, you won't. And then it's kind of
and it comes to a standstill. Yeah, we're trying to get there. It's hard, especially I would say the biggest thing without detailing everything is with the Celtics and the Bruins not knowing their playoff schedule. It makes things really hard. Because when we say we're going to sell out this thing on a Saturday, they're like, well, we're not giving you a Saturday that potentially could be either a Boston Bruins or Celtics game. It's like, well, we'll put actually more people in here than you could ever fucking imagine. And then they just say, no, you won't. And we don't talk for 6 days.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be cocky, but our business model is like we'll do a show at like 4 or 5 o'clock in those dead hours, and then do a show, and then everyone's gonna lead into the night and get drunk together. And there's like, oh no, we already have people in the venue. It's like, no, you don't. I guarantee you don't. I've been there before. I know that there's 60 people in there during that. Like, we'll bring 400 people.
60 is different than 300, correct?
Yeah, no. And by the way, speaking of tickets, we're horrible at promoting ourselves. We need to get better. Vancouver tickets are out now. They're in Hockey Night Scottsdale Instagram bio. They're in my personal bio. They're on Twitter everywhere. Vancouver, we're gonna do a show before the Canucks game for an hour. It's gonna be strictly a hockey show. Seriously, don't fucking show up if you're not expecting to hear about hockey and Pedersen. Yeah, those tickets are out now. Make sure you scoop those up. So yeah, someone asked about New York too. Same thing. We're working through it.
Yeah, if you're in British Columbia, even if you're in Seattle, man, that Sunday is going to be an absolute banger. You come to the show. You don't even have to go to the game. The show's going to be at 5 o'clock. Doors are 4 at the iconic Roxy. You might have heard of it. So one guy too that I think I just might have locked in, and we can't announce it yet, but I'm going to announce it here. Shane O'Brien, I think, is going to come in for the show.
Fucking right. Dude.
So that's pending a contract. I got to send him, but I'm just going to say it anyway. So if you're a Canucks fan, you're a hockey fan, you like dudes that just get up there and do rags and talk shit, go over to our Instagram. It's in the bio. Vancouver's going to be a fucking movie. That Sunday, what's better than a Sunday at the Roxy? Afterwards, it's country night, so you can stay and get shit-faced. Take Monday off. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, dude. Obi's the man. For you, those of you guys that are a little younger, no disrespect to Obi, I'm just saying, like, you know, he's one of those guys that are just old school hockey player, has fun, great dude, no ego, just a fucking great guy, man. Any chance Edmonton makes a move for a goalie, I'll hand this off to you because I have no fucking idea.
I don't know. I mean, not for anything that's going to be Stuart Skinner. The goalie market's so thin. I think at one point they were considering Binnington, but now St. Louis is in the mix. Even despite Colton Parayko getting hurt the other night, Binnington, they're not going to move Binnington in St. Louis. It's just it's just not going to happen. Goalie's tricky, man, because the good ones, obviously, you want on your team, and the shitty teams usually don't have a good goaltender, Bob. So you'd have to be a good number 2, a 1A-like position, or a young guy that we just got moved or saw moved was Spencer Knight out of Florida. So, no, I don't think so. I think you got to ride with Skinner, what you got. I mean, he got him to a Game 7 last year, and ultimately they came up a little bit short on the scoring end. So I think you're stuck in Edmonton, Alberta, with your boy Leonard Stewart Skinner.
Shout out to Binnington, dude. I've said this before, but
fuck, did he play good last night?
Dude, these idiot fans, like, they love getting on the goalies, and Binnington's not the guy. Binnington this. And like, I have a friend in the league that same thing, was always getting chirped. And I'll just another example, Aiden Hill. They were calling him a 3rd and 4th string goalie a couple years ago. Then he actually plays, and people are just like, oh, he's always been the one. He was going to lead this team to the cup. Dude, 3 months ago, everyone was like, oh, this guy's a 3rd string, 4th string. It's like, have you ever watched him play? People love getting on goalies when they don't know what they're talking about. And I know everything about hockey, so it's easy to sit here and say that. But we got to wrap this thing up soon. I forgot. I got to go to fucking dinner.
Yeah, we'll take one more maybe.
All right, we'll take one more. Someone said they bought 17 tickets for the Vancouver show.
I hope they did.
Yeah, I hope you did.
Seriously, if you buy 17, I'll buy all your buddies 17 drinks. Easy.
Let's see. Grant said, read my question. Oh, he said, where's his butter golf bucket? I love when people go, where's my sweatshirt, with no context, no anything.
Well, Grant, I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. Sorry, buddy, it's been a long week on the mics. I mean, I've done 1 to 6 here. So yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'm gonna get back in the sweatshop later tonight, probably, and then into Friday, and I will get that dialed in. I apologize on my end, Bella, but as a one-stop shop, it is what it is.
Yeah, it takes a little bit wild. All right, we're going to take one more, guys. We're going to take one more question. Someone called my sister hot.
Always good.
Someone said, does anyone talk hockey in here in caps lock? This guy's pissed. He's like, where the fuck is the hockey talk? Someone said, let the boys rest. Yeah, sometimes with merch, dude, I've been doing merch for over a decade. And it's like, life happens, and I'm not Amazon. Sometimes things get a little delayed, but
Yeah, we
again,
gotta be
appreciate the support.
Right.
Though.
We got to be better with it. We do acknowledge that. But at the same time, we were in Newport Beach all of last week. This week, you know what? Did pick it up till the other day. Our guy was sick. There's just a lot of different things.
Yeah, our merch guy was sick, and we're just like,
yeah, I mean, I don't.
how sick?
Sorry, we don't have to explain it, but
no, we're good. We're gonna wrap it up right there. There's a lot of banter in the chat, but no questions, and I gotta actually go. So, guys, while I'm talking right now, Swish is gonna come up, and we do this every show. Swish is gonna come up with a topic. When this stream ends, go to the YouTube page. Go to the YouTube video, comment on the YouTube video. Make sure you subscribe and like. You have to like the video as well. Like and comment. And you have my word. We're going to announce 3 winners tomorrow. 3 fucking winners.
Wow.
For chin hats, okay? Or any hat you want. And the topic for this week.
And the topic for this week is your favorite airline to fly on.
Ooh.
So it could be best bang for your buck, or maybe you like bringing a George Foreman grill and making something on your Frontier flight. Maybe you like flying on Spirit because you like the bus poles. You don't really have a seat to sit in, and you know what? It's affordable. Maybe you're a Delta guy. Maybe you're a Southwest dude. Maybe you have a lot of United points. Maybe you're a fucking, you're American. You just got that, Admiral status at American. I'm always interested and intrigued to know what people fly and why is the reason, because obviously here, Phoenix Sky Harbor is a very heavily American airline-based airport. You go into Minnesota, it's Delta. Detroit, the same thing. You got hubs there. So comment your favorite airline you fly, and it could be an obscure airline, like something fucking Hawaiian, or maybe it's like, I don't know. There's crazy airlines. There's Turkish. What did you fly over in to Portugal? You were on some fucking
TAP, Air Portugal. Oh, dude, the
something
flight
crazy.
attendants, bro. Oh,
that's what I mean. Like Finnair is unbelievable.
I had a boner the whole flight.
Yeah,
they were so hot and flirty.
It's crazy the amount of different airlines there are out there that people don't even know about. So, let us know. We'll pick the most obscure one that you think of. How about that?
This guy said, is this a transportation podcast? We have such a good thing going where people are like, is this a life advice podcast? Is this a long shorts podcast? All right, guys. Love you guys. We're out. Go comment your favorite airline on the video when we're done.